welcome to this episode of WN Stuff. I'm your host, WN. This is the Variety Channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. This is the Chapter 2 review of 5 Years Later, created by the Inktank channel, which we love so much. We do a lot of reactions to. And this one is called The Lonely Ghost. Okay? This one went quick. I was reading this one, and before I knew it, I had already gone through all the pages. This was a very fast chapter. So, in the last one, we got the Danny Phantom recap, and in this one, we got more of the Ben 10 recap, kind of see where he's at. We got to see that Ben essentially runs an organization known as the Plumbers, and they take care of any threats against their Earth. Magister Rook Blanco is like his partner that we got to see a little bit in the first comic book, and Ben's cousin, Gwendolyn, she is like a researcher and a very powerful sorceress. So Ben's kind of telling his side of the story. So things haven't always been, a fully functioning machine here where it's like we have our team and our HQ and we take care of threats. It used to be way more difficult. Used to make a lot of mistakes. Of course, he was a lot younger. And as we get older, we begin to have a little bit of that prior knowledge to whenever things go awry on how to handle situations. Then we kind of jump into a secondary story that is Vlad, right? So Vlad did make his way back to Earth, as I thought in the first chapter. The thing is, he's way old. His anger and revenge days are kind of behind him. He goes back to his old mansion and looking at pictures, reminiscing. Kind of a cool section here of pages that we flip through because there's not really any dialogue. It pretty much just catches us up on what happened to Vlad from pretty much his beginning to having his accident, falling in love, and then, eventually making it to the point where we left off with him, which was getting cast into space, So older Vlad is in his broken down mansion with the spider webs, kind of looking at pictures and whatnot. Whenever we have a mysterious character pop up and essentially say that he needs Vlad's help. Vlad says he can't help anybody. Look at him. He's old. He's weak now. And that's when the mystery character explains that he's what some might refer to as a time walker. And in doing so can reverse him back to strength, shows him for a second, makes him young, sends him back to old. And then Vlad is kind of confused because he's like, you seem rather powerful. What do you need with me? And honestly, we're not getting a whole lot of information from the mysterious character besides him talking of Vlad and letting him know, hey, look, these people, they turn their backs on you. They won't have an option once you're running the whole universe. And he's like, all I'm hearing is how I'm going to help you and you're going to give me the universe. I don't see where you're getting anything out of this. And he's like, what I want is much, much bigger. Essentially was like, I can give you one little universe. So he's thinking, clearly he's thinking very big picture. So we jump back to Ben and Danny, who are at the Plumbers HQ, thinking about ways that they can get Danny back to his Earth. And they're like coming up with plans. Well, we need a way to get to the ghost zone. And then I have a way to find my way home from there. So, of course, that's whenever we meet a couple of Galvins that are going to, help because they're super, super smart. And they're going to end up making the portal to the ghost zone. Whenever they are all interrupted by a known threat at a teleporter, a threat level higher than what one of the plumbers would actually be able to handle themselves. So they came directly to Ben. And Ben has been trying to talk Danny back into the hero business this whole time. And Danny's just kind of like, look, it's been a while. I'm kind of retired, And he's like, what are you talking about? You're never done being a hero. And then whenever he hears about the threat level, this is like the perfect moment for him to be like, all right, it's going to be me and Danny going to handle it. And so they take the teleporter and they go. And who's waiting for them but a young and powerful Vlad? And that's the chapter. It flew by. I was skipping through and I was like, wow. So very, very easy read. Really want to jump into the third chapter. Pacing was fantastic. Said a lot, actually, without having to say a lot. Caught us all the way back up on Ben's side now that we did Danny's side, which is cool because that's literally just 2 chapters in of the 12 chapters. So I know that there's going to be a lot of meat in this overarching story. So I really like that. Did you like that or this or any of this? Leave a like. If you dislike that or any of this, be sure to leave a dislike. This is a lot of fun reading the comic and then talking to you guys about it. So hopefully I see you guys for chapter 3. Hope you have an amazing day. WN Stuff. Woo!
Playing chess, bro. Started way back with my tragic anime backstory. That's what handcrafted me to go reach all of my glory. Always concentrate on moments and momentum mori. Drag up and I'm counting memories like it's inventory. I ain't got no time to waste. Been sleeping on me.